Puppy murderer and Trump stooge Kristi Noem just had her bullshit called out directly to her face, quite literally, by top Democrat Eric Swalwell on the House Homeland Security Committee. I have that breaking and humiliating moment coming up for you in just a second, but to set the stage really quickly, we first have to go back to this moment where Trump was berated and talked down to like a toddler for the exact same thing.
He wasn't a member of a gang. And then they looked, and on his knuckles, he had MS13.
There's a dispute over that.
Wait a minute. He had MS13 on his knuckles tattooed.
Oh, he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the letter MS13.
It says MS13.
That was photoshopped. So let me
That was photoshopped. Terry, you can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You know, you're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you, but that's okay. I picked you, Terry, but you're not being very nice. He had MS13 tattooed.
We'll agree to disagree. I want to move on to something else.
Terry, do you want me to show you the picture?
I saw the picture.
And you think it was Photoshopped? Well,
here we go.
Don't Photoshop it. Go look at his hand. He had MS13.
He did have tattoos that can be interpreted that way. I'm not an expert on them. I want to turn to Ukraine, sir. I want to get to Ukraine.
No. He had MS as clear as you can be, not interpreted. This is why people no longer believe the news, because it's fake news.
When he was photographed in El Salvador, they aren't there. But let's just go on. They aren't there when he's in El Salvador.
They weren't there, but they're there now, right?
No,
but
they're in your picture.
Terry.
Ukraine, sir.
He's got MS13 on his knuckles.
All right.
Okay?
We'll take a look at that.
You do such a disservice.
We'll take a look at that,
Why don't you just say, yes, he does, and, go on to something else?
It's contested.
Why don't you just say yes to my bullshit? It's not like I just admitted I picked you because I didn't think you would give me any pushback. And folks, the irony of that poor but brave reporter having to treat Trump like a lying toddler should not be lost on anybody, because apparently the apple does not fall far from the tree, and that is exactly what Eric Swalwell had to do to Kristi Noem in this humiliating, almost unwatchable clip. Take a look.
His time has expired. I now recognize Mr. Swalwell for 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. You have an important job. I think you have one of the most important jobs in the cabinet. Thank you for doing it. I want you to have credibility and be taken seriously as you do the job. And so I want to put to rest this question about Mr. Garcia in this photo that the president posted on April 21. Madam Secretary, you agree that the letters MS and the number 13 in Times Roman numeral font, that they are doctored on this photo, right?
Congressman Abrego Garcia.
No, I'm just asking about this photo.
It wasn't based off of tattoos. It was based off an entire case.
And I'll accept that
case against him.
For the purpose of this question. You agree, though, that this is doctored. Is that right?
The same protocols that are
Madam
applied
Secretary,
to every
I want you to have
with
credibility,
law
and
enforcement.
I want you to be taken seriously. Is this doctored or is it not doctored?
I am taken quite seriously
Is it
because
doctored or not
with
doctored?
the importance that the president has given me to do
I understand. Is it doctored or not doctored?
One thing that's important to remember is that every single time a case is built.
Madam Secretary, I have a 7-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 3-year-old. I have a bullshit detector. I'm just asking you, is this doctored or not doctored?
Sir, the protocols in the case built against
Can you
Abrego
answer the
Garcia
question?
Were exactly the same.
Madam Secretary,
I don't have any knowledge as to that photo you're pointing to.
Okay, can you show the photo?
Okay, Kristi Noem lying that she's never seen that photo before is not a surprise. The Trump administration lies all the time. But having to be talked to as though you are a child in front of a congressional committee, that is humiliating, folks. Just watch. This continues to get worse as he brings down the photo to her and she refuses to admit anything.
Walk her the photo down there. No, that one. Please take a look at this photo. It was tweeted by the president on April 21. It's been hanging out there for about a month.
So what is your point?
My question is the numbers and the letter MS13. Could you look at the photo, please? It's right in front of you.
Are you saying Abrego Garcia is not a wife beater?
No, ma'am.
That he's not a criminal. He's not a human trafficker.
Ma'am, you vouched for Mr. Garcia when your team said, ma'am, you vouched for him when you said he was mistakenly deported. Sir, I didn't vouch for him.
I did not say
in that
he
photo.
Should have been deported. Absolutely.
It's so telling that you won't look at the photo.
And we will not be bringing.
Was it doctored or not?
In staying here,
can you look to your right at the photo in front of you? Madam Secretary, can you look to the right at the photo in front of you?
I have seen this photo as you held it behind your head.
Thank you. And the letters MS and the numbers 13, are those doctored or not?
Testimony today is on a doctored photo. You don't want to talk about the facts.
Okay,
The importance of our national security.
You acknowledge it was doctored.
To make sure that the United States is protected.
Madam Secretary, this is not a hard question. Are those doctored or not?
Sir,
is that actually on his hand or not?
This is unbelievable to me that you're focused.
It's unbelievable to me that you can't look at the photo and tell the American people.
I looked at the photo, but I don't have any knowledge as to this photo.
Okay, so it's been hanging out there for 4 weeks. You are one of the chief law enforcement officials in the country. What have you done to investigate whether the president misrepresented the reason that that person has been detained?
Sir,
have you done anything to try and figure out whether that was doctored or not?
The mission of the Department of Homeland Security is to secure our nation and to make sure that we're out there going after those that are the worst of the worst, the criminals, the bad actors. Abrego Garcia.
So the answer is you've done nothing to correct the president.
Member of MS13, a wife beater and a human trafficker that should never have been in this country to begin with.
So the final moment of this already grueling hearing is honestly even worse, but worth watching because Swalwell then puts the nail in the coffin by bringing up the 4-year-old cancer patient that her bureau also deported. Take a look.
Madam Secretary, thank you, Mr. Burnett. 2 weeks ago, your agency deported a 4-year-old American citizen in a stage 4 cancer battle. What are you doing to get him back to the country so he can get his treatment?
Congressman, this mother wished to keep her family together and to take her child with her. So as every single person is given the opportunity to, medical care is given throughout the process.
Okay, so it sounds like
and
nothing.
For this child, medical care was confirmed in their home country so that it would continue, and those treatments and whatever needs were needed to be had into the future were confirmed to be provided there before.
That child's home country is the United States. Do you believe you have a right to deport a U.S. citizen?
That mother chose to keep her family together, and that is what President Trump is focused on.
That's not the facts of the case.
Yes, it is the facts.
Madam Secretary, moving on.
Confirmed that she wanted to keep her child with her, and our families and parents are given that ability to keep their children with them when they return to their home countries.
Madam Secretary, do you have a right to deport a U.S. citizen?
No, we do not deport U.S. citizens and have not deported U.S. citizens.
Except the 4-year-old that we just referenced.
That mother chose to keep.
Unbelievable, folks, and borderline unwatchable. That is our Homeland Security Director. I commend Eric Swalwell for trying to keep that civil, but frankly, the things that I want to say about Kristi Noem, I cannot say on this platform. So if you'll do me the favor and drop your thoughts and maybe some of mine in those comments down below, and while you're there, help us call this stuff out and fight fascism by subscribing to the Really American YouTube channel and joining our resistance in this fight against lies, hate, and fascism. Thank you all for watching. This is not the government we deserve. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse. I'll see you all in the next one.